Hi, I'm Jennifer Lepore, Online Education Manager at Artistsnetwork, and I have here with me Carrie Stuart Parks. We've been filming here at the Artistsnetwork TV video studio for a couple days now. We've been doing one video on drawing faces and the other one on painting with watercolor, painting faces. So I wanted to just let everybody learn a little bit more about you like we've had the chance to do. And just kind of wanted to give a little background about how you got started painting in the first place.
Painting in the first place?
Or drawing.
Or
anything to do with art.
Anything to do with art. I grew up in a very small mining town in North Idaho, and there was no art education of any kind. My folks entered me in whatever they could find, but in 1968, which was at least 20 years before I was born, but I was advanced for my age. They enrolled me in a college course called Western Art on Wheels, and it was at North Idaho College, and we traveled around the area, around the Pacific Northwest, and we painted the different scenes. And I knew nothing about watercolor, but I fell in love with it, and so that became my chosen medium.
Oh, okay. That's great. So you just started right away with that. That's a kind of a hard medium to start with. But.
Well, you know, if you're stupid, you can start with whatever you got. It seemed like I thought that was how art was supposed to be because nobody told me any different. So, and I did one oil painting once in my life that I gave to my grandmother. Otherwise, watercolor was my medium. And I learned that I really liked it because it really had a mind of its own. It's sort of like me, and so we got together pretty well. We tried not to argue very much.
I like that comparison. And then also, I know that you do a lot of forensic work. And how did you get interested in forensics?
Well, I'd like to say that it was because I was this brilliant artist like Michelangelo with F. Lee Bailey courtroom presence and Sherlock Holmes investigative skills, but actually my dad was the director of the crime lab, so
that'll help.
and he said I was the best artist he knew, and I was the only artist he knew. So, and I was willing to work for the wages they had. And this was in a time back in the 70s and early 80s. Nobody knew what forensic meant. So therefore, it was very, very early in the whole forensic field. It was long before CSI or anything else. And I started off by preparing trial charts for the physical evidence that they did. I also would hold the stupid end of the tape measure. And from there, I graduated by going into the FBI Academy and learning how to do composite sketches and facial reconstruction. And I became totally in love with that field as well.
Wow, and now don't you even teach it?
Now I travel across the US and Canada teaching. We have the largest forensic art course probably in the world as far as the number of courses and the number of classes that we offer.
Wow. And do you teach anything other than forensics, or?
Yes, I teach drawing. A lot of people take the forensics just for the drawing end of it. I teach drawing, primarily face drawing, because that's the hardest thing there is to draw. So therefore, if you can do the hardest thing with me, you can do anything else after that. And then I teach watercolor workshops as well. And as far as the watercolor goes, I can pretty much do any type of watercolor people want. So a lot of people come in, I show them a lesson, they either participate or they bring their own projects, and I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to that.
And do you feel like the drawing and the watercolor go hand in hand and help with each medium, help the other one get better or inspire the other one?
Right. Well, when you do watercolor, unless you're going abstract, which is fine, when you're working on a watercolor, your watercolor is going to be as good as the underlying drawing. So if the underlying drawing is not a good, solid drawing, well, you can't beat it to death like with an oil painting. In oil painting, you can just keep painting and painting and painting. You can submiss it down, or you can take some acrylic and throw it over the top, and you can just beat it back down. Watercolors, the beauty of it is, if the drawing is sound, the watercolor will turn out, usually, if you learn how to pretend like you meant to do everything.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much for being here today.
You're welcome. It's been a wonderful, wonderful 2 days.
Great, and we hope that we come back with you soon. We hope that you come back with us soon.
I love that. I would love to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you.